And we're live. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Is It Just Us?
Is it?
Is it? Wow, we're going to answer that for you in a moment. We were originally going to have a twist on the answer, but that changed. That all changed at the last minute. Maybe that will be different next week. We'll just see how it goes. Anyway, I'm your host, Lucifer Storm, and joining me, as always, is my main man, Russ, Comicbook, Blackbelt, Leach. Russ, let the people know where they can find you, good sir.
You can find me on YouTube as Comicbook Blackbelt. You can find me at russleach.com. You can find me at comicbookblackbelt.com. You can also find out more about my book at onlydeathcansavus.com. There is a link to the campaign, which is live, which has been funded. Thank you, everybody, for funding me. But the stretch goals are live. Go get them. I'm very close to stretch goal 2 right now. You can find me on the Twitter, on the Twatter, on the Fleecebook, on the Instagram, and on the Parlay when it works.
Fantastic. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Just look up Lucifer Storm. You can find me at luciferstorm.com. Or if you like, you could go over to lady-satan.com and sign up to the newsletter so that you can stay up to date with any announcements that I have on that particular project. And don't forget, there is one coming real soon. And before we go into the musical interlude, I just want to say hello to everyone in the chat, which includes Captain Fookhead. How the devil art thou, good sir?
Is there?
Stinch Whackbacker, Bristolian Dave, Too Far Tony, good man. Glad to see you.
Frank's here.
And we got Frank Salazar, Art Nation. Fan-fucking-tastic. And congratulations to Stinch Whackbacker, because as he says in the chat, won the 24-hour comic book challenge. Well done, good sir. Well done. Glad to see that you are still alive. Not many people can say that after doing that challenge, let me tell you. Anyway, let's get on with the old musical interlude so that we can answer a certain question for you guys. So I ordered some soup, right? And they just gave me a bottle of bleach and a small orange. I only came up with that one about a fucking hour ago, and I don't know where the fuck that came from, man. I have no fucking idea, but it just seemed to work. What can I say? What can I say?
It's probably, that's a new cure for COVID. Oh God, did I say that out loud?
Yeah, headlines read, 2 guys on the internet who we don't know says something about a bottle of bleach and a small orange. We don't know which one goes where.
Done the trick though.
Cleared it right fucking up. It right did. And my rash.
Yeah, it was great. Oh. I had all those funny bumps.
So we asked earlier, is it just us? And if you're watching this, then you already know, no, it's not just us. We have with us my main man, MarV. How the devil art thou, MarV?
Hi from Portugal.
Welcome to the show, good sir.
Thank you.
You are very welcome, good sir. We've been meaning to do this for a long, long time, and we have finally done it. And for those of you out there who may not have heard of MarV, he has a YouTube channel. It's in the link is in the description box down below, and he's working on a book called The Sin Killer. Mario, do you want to tell people about The Sin Killer?
Yeah, The Sin Killer is the story about a priest who was in the war, in the Vietnam War. He lost his faith, and when he came back from the war, he became a grave digger. He brought back to life a dog and a raven that were killed. Michael, before he was Michael, before he had that name, he was Thor, a furry dog. So Thor was about to be killed after being a champion, and he was able to escape, and he escaped to where John lives. The Sin Killer's the name is John Paris. So John finds him in the graveyard and brought him back to life to avenge his own death. And the same with Gabriel. Gabriel is a raven. Actually, Michael finds Gabriel almost dead with his flock. So some farmers and other people, bad people, kill his entire flock. So they brought him back to life. Sorry about my English. I'm from Portugal, so
cool.
And they team up all together, and they start avenging people who died and didn't have the opportunity to seek justice.
Excellent.
Awesome.
That's the
That's
premise.
great.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
And now you guys are going to get to see some of Mario's artwork right here.
Look
So
at that
Mario,
bloody logo behind him as well. Sorry, but that logo is just sick.
Yeah, that's Ricardo Ferreira.
That's it.
My tablet died a year ago, and I wasn't able to do the digital part. So he told me that he was going to help me. So he's doing everything digital. He did the logos here, and he's putting the book together now. Well, part of the book, because I was invited to do to participate on an anthology that I can't talk right now. Maybe a few weeks from now, I'm able to. And yeah, he's doing a great job. And I was with him Friday night. We talked about the comic. He opened my eyes to some problems that I'm struggling. I didn't had I didn't thought about what he told me, and then yeah, he opened my eyes, and I have to redo some panels, but it's for the best. So thanks, thanks so much, Ricardo, for this, because he's doing a great job. He's been very supportive and a very good friend.
Excellent.
Oh,
That's
that
what
is
you need. It's good to have good compatriots when you're working.
Yeah.
Whatever whatever guys they come in, whether they're other artists or you're working with colorists or inkers, whatever you might be doing, or whether it's writers, editors, people looking over your shoulder. It's always good to have a team involved. Yeah. Excellent stuff. There's some lovely drawings. Go back one if you could.
Oh, of course.
Because I really like that one. That
yeah, Jessica
Daredevil
Jones
one.
Yeah, I love that one.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That is absolutely awesome.
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of what shows.
Good. I know that my good friend Tony, who's in the chat, he really digs Jessica Jones and Daredevil and Iron Fist and all that jazz. So I'm sure he's going to appreciate that. And what we've got up here is we got some artwork from the Sin Killer itself. So how much of the book are you drawing traditionally, pencil, paper, and
everything?
Everything.
Everything. And then Ricardo will do the grays, the backgrounds with the grays. That watercolor look is Ricardo. He's cleaning up everything. He's putting the panels together. The graphics are from him. So he's putting everything. I'm not saying. I'm saying the number of the panels. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This page, and then he just put out there.
Excellent.
So this one is unfinished. Ricardo will do a background behind the cross.
Okay.
And the crow.
Nice.
But it's turning. It's almost done for the anthology, and the rest will be done later because I have so many panels done.
Do you want to blow that up a bit?
Yeah, I reckon I can do that.
Look into the middle of that. Yeah, look at that. That's cool.
Really like some of the textures that you've done on here as well, man. And that's the thing. So many artists, including myself, tend to forget how important textures can be on artwork. And the way that you've drawn the bird in both panels, especially in this panel, look at that.
Not afraid of some black there. That's good.
Thank you.
Good.
Excellent. Man. That top one has got it's quite stylized, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just isn't. Yeah, it's not always the way you draw, is it? It's something. Are you playing with a style there, or?
This is my first comic, so consistency has been a little bit of a struggle for me.
Right.
So I tried to. Well, you saw my previous style with the pencils. It's totally different. So this is the first time I'm doing a comic. So maybe I can lose a little bit of consistency from a panel to another. I'm trying to do my best. Maybe in the second one I'll do better. I try to find out what kind of strokes and the style. So I still try to find myself.
I wouldn't suggest consistency is that much of a problem, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've seen you, obviously your pencil work. You do a lot of shading and what have you, and it's really textured and very traditional. And this has just got a bit of a Mike Mignola feel to it in places.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Which is obviously quite sort of a jump from what you normally do, but it's lovely. It's really nice stuff. Really nice stuff.
Yeah, and the greys really complement it, and it's just lovely. And there's something about it that reminds me of the James O'Barr The Crow.
A little,
That's one of my inspirations.
I thought it might be, because I know you're a bit of a fan of that movie. What other inspirations have played a part in your style and in making this book?
Well, first of all, I'm a huge fan from the 70s and 80s. So everything from EC Comics early on, and then of course Buscema, Gene Colan, Bernie Wrightson, Frank Miller, and all those guys. So that's my. Russ want to bring back the Bronze Age. I want to bring back. Be inspired by all the old horror comics. So this is I'm trying to do horror with no how do I say, with no gore. Try to implement the psychological horror about in this book, for instance, to be buried alive. And when you are be buried alive, you hear the guy singing the chorus of Gravedigger by Dave Matthews Band. So while you're taking the dirt, you are listening Gravedigger, when you dig my grave, we make it shallow so I can feel the rain. So that's page 4. That's one of my favorite pages, because that's the song that I put there.
It's excellent. I love that dog.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Michael. That's badass dog. He's badass. His story is amazing. I can't wait to share this story, because very good story, I think, in my opinion.
That whole panel is awesome, actually. But I just really like that dog. It's got a real mood to it. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
They all when they start chasing the bad guys, they become darkness. They all darkness. But at the end of the night, when they go back home, because John have a shack, a wooden cabin on the top of the hill of the graveyard. So when they enter the cabin, they all became, a normal family. Michael starts to be a normal dog. He wants to eat. He wants to play. Gabriel, a normal raven, and John just became a normal guy. He was cooking for his dog and cooking for himself, and hear some radio, So that's the antithesis of what he is outside at night and what he is at home with his friends. So I want to make sure that his personality is well driven, and people like his personality for what he is, for what he was, for what he become. So I'm putting a lot on his characters.
Excellent. That's
these last 2 panels on this page, I love going from the worm's eye view to like the bird's eye view. Like, it's such a nice contrast. It's really well done. So you mentioned, like, you want to do horror with no gore. You want to work in that more psychological kind of realm, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Even though this is a book that's horror with no gore, would you say that it's a book that's more aimed towards adult readers, or would you say that it would be okay for like teenagers to read this? What sort of age range do you think this book is for?
Well, I'm thinking about teenage, adult, something like that. Of course, it's not for kids, but But when I was 8 years old, I started to read horror comics too. And I have one here from 1986 that just blew my mind when I was a kid. And I think horror depends of the mentality of everyone, because we are in Europe, we can see breasts all time on comics, and nobody says anything because it's natural, right? So if you go to the United States, you got to have that dot on the nipples. So I don't know what's the difference between watching Wolverine's nipples and the women's nipples. So for me, it's the same. I think we in Europe, especially the Italians, there are a lot of nudity, and the French comics too. And we look at those kind of stuff, and we just see natural.
Yeah,
everything is natural.
I was on a stream the other day, and somebody I can't remember who it was talking about the shape of breasts and how the Europeans draw them differently to the American comics.
Yeah,
in American comics, they're very round and kind of falsies, whereas European comics tend to have some
weight,
some gravity to them. Some, I suppose, more anatomically correct, and not so not so boingy. Not sticking up in the air all the time. But yeah, I know what you mean. But at the same time, that the Americans came up with this kind of style and this way of showing females, especially in the 90s. But if you show a nipple on American TV, it's close to the apocalypse.
Yeah,
which is a bit weird.
So.
Oh, look at that!
That's a beautiful.
Is that's one of the panels, isn't it?
Yeah, that's one of the panels. But this photo that I took is from a poster I did on Instagram a few months ago. Well, Ricardo has already finished this one. That's the finish part for me. So I already gave that panel to Ricardo to put.
That's lovely.
Thank you. The grace.
Your line work is exceptional. Like the way you've managed to capture the details and the textures and stuff. How long does it roughly take you to draw a page of the book?
Well, I never thought about watching the time. I'm a very slow. I draw very slow.
Yeah.
And I'm always listening to music. So for the time I'm doing the drums and the guitar. So because it's the mood. I have to listen to good British heavy metal like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. So
cool.
Good man.
And from the United States.
We've got a comment here from Bristolian Dave who says horror with no gore is a real skill. Much easier to chuck a bucket of blood on someone. And I think he's absolutely right. Stinch says 90s Mignola heavy stuff. And we've also got Bree in the chat. Welcome, Bree. How the devil art thou? And she says, many peeps in here this evening. That's so awesome.
It certainly is.
Agree. I completely agree. Matt, we've still got so much more of your artwork to show.
Go ahead.
This is fantastic. So what are your plans with releasing this book?
Well, after the anthology, I thought that I will take real time to put the book together, because from 8 pages to 24 pages, I want to do stuff very, very slowly and get an audience, because I've seen people online with great stuff, great comics, fantastic artwork, fantastic story, but with no audience, and they fail their campaigns because of that. So I want to take my time, spread the word about what I'm doing, and we are thinking about crowdfunding after the anthology, and let's say maybe March. I want to get the best time I can to do it right. I know I'm going to make mistakes, but I want to do the best I can, and Ricardo wants to do the best he can.
Yeah, cool.
So
absolutely, I think you guys are killing it.
Yeah, it's lovely work.
Thank you.
Killing it with this. So you have to let us know when you go to crowdfunding, because we'll have to definitely get you back on for crowdfunding to help promote this.
When you do your sign up, so whenever are you going to go with Indiegogo?
I don't know.
Right. The great.
I want to get the opinion of whatever. If everybody wants to give their opinion about which is the best, I'll listen to anybody. And
the great thing about Indiegogo is the sign up, the pre-campaign. So, for instance, for 6 months, you can put up a pre-campaign to get people's email addresses.
Oh yeah,
and that is actually a very good thing. In this image I could just see this image on the top of a pre-campaign page. It really could. It'd draw people in.
Oh, this image.
Or that one. God, yeah.
Be really cool. Panels are from page 1. The first panel, the previous panel is the first panel. That's the second panel. Is not finished because Ricardo has to clean it up, and that's what I did. My inks.
That's cool.
That's amazing. Absolutely.
And the angel really exists nearby my house. My house is about 2 clicks from my house. That's an angel that I really love to watch when I go to the cemetery nearby the next village.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, I've neglected to ask you the one question I always ask the guests that come on here. How did your comic book journey begin, both as a reader and as a creator of comics?
Well, I remember my father having comics when I was a kid. Actually, I have some comics from him, and I've lost a lot of them because we used to move a lot. My parents were immigrants in France. And I was always going to France and coming back to Portugal. And I know that I have some great stuff back there. So I lost a lot of things. And my first comic book, I remember being a story with, it was Russ drawing Spider-Man, is a story with the Punisher and a Nightcrawler. That was amazing. And another book that I had back in the day that I still remember the panels, and that's a shame that I don't have those books anymore, was Daredevil versus Torpedo. It was in 75 or 76, something like that, the comics. And I love that. Then I came back to Portugal. I kind of forgot about comics. And later on, a friend of mine introduced me. Back then, I didn't know what Marvel and DC was. So then when I was back to Portugal, I was introduced properly to Marvel and DC. And since then, that's what I had. I didn't have anything more than that here where I live. We only had Marvel and DC. So we have now Image, but... nothing more than that back then.
Yeah. So, what do you think of the state of the comic book industry at the moment? Because I know there are lots of people who kind of like agree on the state of the comic book industry, but they all have kind of like their own reasons for it. It kind of seems to be something that's personal to everyone. So what are your thoughts with the state of the comic book industry as it is, and how do you think well, if you think it's fine, great. Why do you think it's fine? If you don't think it's fine, what do you think can be done to make it better?
Well, first of all, I don't read mainstream comics. I stopped reading Marvel and DC. And I never was a fan of Image. I never was an Image fan. So I stopped reading those comics last century.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah. And I continued to buy comics from Marvel and DC, of course, but the old stuff, the Conan stuff and all that jazz. So right now, well, I knew about crowdfunding and what was really our comic book community, the indie comic book community. I found out about that a few years ago with Jeff Laverty, because I didn't know that it was possible to publish our own comics. So I just knew about that a few years ago, and seriously, I really don't care about everything that is happening with all the fighting between Comicsgate and all that jazz. I really don't care. I treat comics like I treat everybody else. If I don't like it, I walk away. I don't care. So, but for me, thank you. For me, the comic book community, in my point of view, what I'm living, for me, has been great because I've met great people, especially those guys from Indie Vault. They are amazing. I feel like I know them for years. They made me part of their group of friends, and I think they are amazing, and they have been so supportive, and everything and everyone around Indie Vault have been so amazing with me, and I'm so grateful for that, and you guys too. And and man, that's what we need. We need people to hang out with and to have fun, and the rest, fuck off.
Yeah. We're all cool. We are all absolutely fine. Like, we don't need assholes.
No,
getting involved with this. Does someone mention my name? Hey, hello.
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
Jeremy's here.
Who's this guy? It's been a while. Where are all the white bitches at? Any white bitches? Hello? Do any of you need help? It's very dark in here.
I was just going to say, I can't see your face very well, Jeremy.
No, it's better.
Yeah, that's a bit better. Now? Yeah, that's a bit better. Yeah,
I'm coming for you, Russ.
Yeah, I know.
When you're sleeping.
I understand. I have to keep a plastic bag nearby just in case you turn up.
So you should. I have many gifts for you. Who's this guy? Who's this guy?
This is MarV. This is Mario. This man's
Mario?
nice. Bloody be nice to him. All right.
Mario, do you want to see my collection of ears?
Show me, man.
I just started making them. It's hard to get them at first. The postman put up a bit of a fight. But I managed to get it started. I might have another collection on the way of restraining orders. I don't know just yet. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta work on the next. I'll see everyone later. Okay. Bye. Good evening, everybody. Oh God, that sock is the bane of my existence. I am surprised that sock hasn't got me arrested for a hate crime yet. It's only a matter of time. I'm sorry about that, Marlon.
It's so cool.
So sorry about that.
Awesome.
Sock crime.
Sock crime.
I love that 70s porn actor mustache.
Oh, it's great, isn't it? He's got a dick the size of a horse. I heard this great joke the other day. Do you want to hear a joke? Right. Okay. There's a horse and a chicken, and they're in the field outside of the farm, and the horse falls in some quicksand, and the horse says, "Quick, go to the chicken." Sorry, to the chicken. Go and get the farmer. And so the chicken runs back into the farmyard. He's looking everywhere and he can't see the farmer. And he jumps in the BMW, backs it up to the sand pit. Okay, ties a rope round the horse and pulls the horse out. The horse is like, "Oh, thank God for that. You're my mate, chicken. You saved my life." It's okay, no problem. Anyway, a few days later, they're mucking around outside the farmyard again, and the chicken falls in the sand. And the chicken says, quick, get the farmer, get the BMW, get me out of here. He goes, no. He says, "I reckon I can do this. He says, I'm big enough that I can just straddle that sand pit." So the horse straddles over the sand pit, okay, and says, "All right, grab my dick." So the chicken grabs the horse's dick and he pulls the chicken out. And I forgot to tell you the first bit, that this is supposed to be a story by a school kid to a teacher. All right, so I completely forgot that bit, but this is all exactly the same. The teacher says, "Okay, that's a great story, but what's the moral of it?" And he says, "You don't need a BMW to pick up chicks when you've got a dick the size of a horse?
That's good.
The moment you started telling that joke, I was like, I've heard this. I know I've
It was a bad telling because I forgot to start with. But it was just like I heard this joke and it absolutely cracked me up. Absolutely cracked me up. So sorry. Anyway, yeah. What I was going to say is I can absolutely jump in for Indie Vault and all those guys over there.
Yeah,
because they are doing the right thing. They have an amazing platform. Anybody out there, if you're making comics, go over and find Indie Vault because they're doing it right. And they don't care. They don't care if you've been on Indiegogo or Kickstarter, or if you know people on Comicsgate, or if you are Comicsgate, or if you aren't Comicsgate. All they care about is that you're making comics. Okay. Yeah. And it's a friendly environment where you can go and talk to people and they take you on your merit. And it's absolutely, you're absolutely right about it, Mario. And they've been extremely kind to me as well. They are lovely, lovely people, all of them. And they're really all about comics. That's all it is. Yeah. And I've met, whether I've bumped into the guys over at CG UK, okay, or whether it's the people that I've met over at CG in the States, or whether it's the people on Indie Vault, or whether it's damn well Billy Tucci. I was online with Billy Tucci on the week that I fulfilled my campaign. Billy Tucci is a bloody legend. Okay, so these people are out there, and all they care about is making good comics, good entertainment, and we owe it to the medium that we love, and we owe it to each other to be kinder to each other and just get along, because that's what matters. That's what counts. And that's enough for me. Get on and show some more stuff from Mario. Wow. I just had to say something about Indie Vault, and also, like Mario was saying, about the people that you find online, because I've found so many decent chaps, decent chaps and chapesses who are just eager to just make comics, make comics and make them fun and entertain people.
Well, that's how all three of us have ended up meeting. Is because of online, and there are so many communities out there that are popping up.
Yes,
that are all very supportive of people making their own comics, which is amazing. And seeing yourself, Mario, being a part of some of those groups is absolutely fantastic. I still can't get over the artwork that you sent us. It's absolutely
so cool. It is so cool.
None. It really is.
Love it.
None. No, thank you. My heart is pumping now. Yeah, because it's great. It's great to hear that, because it makes you fight and go to battle and fight for what we believe. Because I have a day job and I got home and very tired, and I want to draw. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't, because I had 2 strokes already in my right leg, and I'm waiting for another surgery. So it's not been easy. My tablet died, and everything is falling apart. And listening to this is very good. Thank you.
But you're still battling on. You're
still battling on. You're doing it, and anytime you need to come on here, anytime you need a share, a retweet, I'll be buying your book when it comes out. It's like all these things. We're all here. All of us, we're all here. And absolutely right, Marv. There are tons of great books that didn't get funded due to not being promoted enough. Promotion is king for indie comics these days. Bristolian right, Dave, my lover, hello. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. And yours deserves all the success.
And Bristolian Dave also says you don't have to be Comicsgate. You just have to be respectful to the customer and respect the art form.
Exactly. That's all it is. Yeah. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Well said.
Yeah. Just be out there to make comics and whatever else it is. Just the other stuff is just part of it. But what he said there about respect for the customer, there are no toxic fans. Okay. I don't actually like the word fan. They're readers, they're participants with your journey. They're giving to you, you're giving to them, and it's all about the journey of the story and the creation that you put together, the project you put together, and they come along with you. And what we're doing now, the three of us, and what we do, independently as well, and with all the other great people in the chat, is connect with people out there in real world land, and they see what you're doing, and because you're connecting with them, they feel far more likely to buy your book because they're connecting to your story, to your project, and you're giving to them, because we're all giving to ourselves, because obviously we don't get paid for this stuff. We're here to kind of connect and entertain and do what we do. So yeah, no, really good stuff.
And Mr. Peter Palmiotti is in the chat. Good evening, good sir. And he says Sin Killer will spread across the internet.
Wow.
I heard from a little bird. In fact, no, I didn't. I think it was a post on Facebook, but it's the same thing these days. That Mr. Peter Palmiotti has just got himself a contract to do some writing.
Yes.
So congratulations, Peter.
That is absolutely awesome. And if you got someone like Peter Palmiotti backing you here, Marv, you are doing something right.
Geezer knows his shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to go back over some of like the artwork that we've already shown, because there are just some. There's that logo.
That logo is just so awesome. You got to get that on a t-shirt, man.
And I love this photo because we can see just your hand, and that pen going in there. That's absolutely
one thing you will have to do, which is hideous because I had to do it, is unfortunately get on Twitter. The thing that I find on Twitter is all I do is repost projects, art that I love, comic books, and then post about my own stuff. Okay. And occasionally I might say to someone, I really like that because I think a piece of art is great. And as long as you stick to doing that and being positive, you don't have to get involved in the scum and villainy that is Twitter. You can be positive. If you be positive, you'll just get positivity back. But unfortunately, you do have to be on there. You do have to be visible. Like you're talking about marketing, you do have to be out there and be visible. Unfortunately, that is a thing that you have to do.
I haven't been in Twitter for a while, maybe a month or something like that.
Yeah, but just don't talk to anyone. Just be positive.
That's
right.
I'm always positive. Yeah. I'm always.
So Marv, when you're not at work and when you're not working on the Sin Killer, what do you like to do? What are some of like your hobbies and stuff? How do you relax?
Well, I've been watching The Strain with my wife. My wife loves horror and sci-fi, so
that's
unfortunately, unfortunately, she doesn't like comics, but she loves horror and sci-fi. So most of the time I'm with her, and I try to draw as much time as I can. But cool. Heavy metal, watching movies and series with my wife, and drawing and. Read some comics from time to time.
Cool.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Well, now we're going to move on. Because there's a segment that we normally do weekly. We haven't done it yet. And you can already hear the exacerbation coming from Russ, because we both get to do this together, Mario. Russ?
Yeah, go on.
In fact, I'll let Mario do it.
Ask
him about what's grinding his gears.
What?
Mario, ask Russ what's grinding his gears.
Running his gears?
Grinding his gears. That's
what's grinding my gears? I'll tell you what's grinding my gears.
I wasn't hearing.
Oh no, it's all right. It's all right. We really should have planned it before the episode, not try to do it halfway through. But hey,
what is grinding my gears this week? Bloody everything. Small-mindedness. I mean, we brushed on it just then with comics and people getting uptight about what group you're in and who you know and who you don't know and who you talk to.
What do you mean group? Any group?
Oh, here we go. One particular group.
Oh, yeah,
Comicscape. That's the only way to deal with these things is to laugh at them. Okay, because be positive, and I don't mean laughing at Comicsgate. I just mean laughing at people, whether they're in, whether they're out, whatever they might be, just small-mindedness and just attacking each other and just it's shit. Let's just stop it. Okay, stop. No, not you, Mario. Just stop it. Just be kind to each other. Give people the benefit of the doubt. And do you know what? If you really don't like someone or what they're doing, just ignore them. Just move on, okay? And just get on and be positive for yourself. And what we're seeing so many great books out there at the moment. Whatever they may be, whatever source they may be from, there are some fantastic comic books out there. So don't sully them with negativity. Just like be positive. So yeah, what's really been and then on top of that, if we look at the real world and we look at that orange prat of a president, Trump, okay, and he's a bit of a knob, to be perfectly honest. The guy's an absolute knob. But you know what? I'd never wish death on anyone. You know, and seeing people in the media wishing death on someone because they don't like their politics is just grow up, everybody. You know, grow up. So there you go. That was what was grinding my gears. Small-mindedness was grinding my gears this week.
So grow up, or we'll send Jeremy round to your place.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Just like,
and you won't want that.
I'll come round and eat your eyes out. So, just grow up, everybody. Just be nice to each other. That's all I can say.
Bravo, Russ. Bravo. Marvelous. Well, I guess that brings us to our next weekly section. But I think we should start with our guest. So Marv, what are some books that you would recommend to people out there that they may have read, they may not have read, especially if they are people who don't normally read comics or aren't that interested in comics? What books would you recommend to them to read?
Ooh, that's a hard one because I'm not reading physical comics right now. I'm reading digital from Alterna, so I can say Void Walker, Blood Realm.
Blood Realm, yes.
Trespasser. I love
Trespasser.
Right,
cool.
And Tisseltown, Midnight Mysteries, fantastic too. And then we have Guano Guy. That's not from Alterna, but it's from Terraform Comics. Guano Guy, and what else? I'm going back again from the books from the 70s and 80s. So I'm not. Ricardo gave me Friday some comics, some recent comics. Star Wars #1, Darth Vader, and I haven't read that one yet. And some Doctor Who. If I have to talk about giving an opinion, giving something to read, I'll say everything from the 70s and 80s. I can't.
It's about the size of it, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's about beautiful. The size of it. Yeah. Doctor Who. Hello there, my name's Dr. Pooh. I'm a poo, and I live in a toilet.
So even though you're reading mostly digital now, and so am I, because with this whole COVID thing, most of my books are actually at my studio, and I can't really go there at the moment. I've got to work from home at the moment, so I'm reading a lot of stuff digitally on my tablet. But which would you ideally prefer? Do you prefer to read digital, or do you prefer to read physical comics?
Physical, of course. The only reason why I'm reading digital is because of the costs. The shipping cost from the United States to Europe is $23 if you want to ship a shipping from I backed the Berserker Note by Jeff Lafferty, and it was around $23 to ship this. Yeah. So that's the main reason why I don't buy physical comics.
Yeah. Well, it must be it must be better when you're shipping from England. The shipping can't be that much from England to Portugal.
It's half is £12.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Not too bad. No, I thought it was very, very. It was more, let's say, 18 to 20 pounds. But no, it's £12. It's not so much.
You know what? We've got someone here in the chat, Captain Fuckhead, who says, "Don't get me started on shipping." I think he feels your pain with the shipping from the US, because I've got to say, there's been a couple of books that I've backed on Indiegogo, and I've been absolutely horrified at how much the shipping costs.
It can, almost double sometimes from when you get something from the States. And I was quite happy with my shipping actually, for compared to what I was paying for stuff from the States. Jesus. And when you actually post stuff in the States, it's not that much less than us posting to the States.
If I want to send a comic to the States, it will cost $8.49, something like €7.15.
So that's pretty good.
It's a very, very big difference to 7 to 23. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Fantastic. Well, it looks like Russ has a little book that he wouldn't mind showing off.
I've got a book now. I'm not a big Remitter fan,
right?
To be honest, Junior. No, I'm not a big Junior fan. I absolutely love John Romita Sr. Adore him. Him. His work on Spider-Man is just superb. I would say he's a better Spider-Man artist than anyone else. He just is. He's just absolutely brilliant. But his son, John Romita Jr., not so keen on, because sometimes I think his anatomy sucks. But he has a lovely style. There is something quite cool about it. I love his line work, and I love the energy that it exudes. I mean, that is not a good face, okay? but that is full of energy and is vibrant. So it's kind of one of those things where it's definitely a little bit of style over substance, but because it's in comics, it's kind of okay. And I absolutely loved this book. It's Ghost Rider, Wolverine, and Punisher in Hearts of Darkness, and it's got this. This is so 90s. It's got this fabulous fold-out cover like this. Look at that. That's just gatefold cover. Look at that. Absolutely fucking mental and superb. And the inside print. That's the inside print. So it's like, look at the graphic. It's the Punisher, Wolverine for the teeth. It's the Wolverine claws for the teeth, and obviously a little bit of flame on the top. Really nicely done. So it's overall a superb piece. Absolutely brilliant printing, beautiful printing, lovely colours. Again, this we're looking. It's not exactly flat colours, but it's not a lot of tinting going on. It's kind of not far from what I'm trying to get out in my book, and just bright and gorgeous. This is great. This is quite good. So I would suggest that even though I find Romita Jr. A trifle underwhelming compared to his father, it is still, it's still good stuff. It's still fun, which is what comics is about. It's still very fun, and this is a fantastic book. So if you can get hold of this, this I believe I got probably on a first printing because I'm that old. 1991. So I've had this for quite some time, and it's still in pristine condition. There you go. Buy it if you can get it.
Fantastic. Well, I forgot to grab my tablet before doing this because I've been reading something digitally. Like I was mentioning just a second ago, I kind of have to read digitally at the moment. And it's a 4-issue mini-series written by Jeff Johns and illustrated by Sean Martinborough, who did that How to Draw Noir comics book that I showed a week or two back. And it's called Morlocks. And it's kind of a tie-in with X-Men. It's all dealing with mutants, but you learn at the beginning of the 4-issue miniseries that there's a type of mutant called Morlocks who live underground because all the Sentinels are out there. They capture mutants, and these bunch have just gone, nah, fuck this. we're not going to get captured by sentinels. So they stay underground. And because they stay underground and they only ever pop up like above ground for about 7 minutes at a time, because that's roughly the time it takes for a sentinel to find mutants, people keep seeing them doing stuff like out of context. So there's these rumors spreading that they're cannibals and that they're monsters and this, that, and the other, when in fact they're normal people who are missing something in their lives. And you start off with this gangster who's like been in a bank robbery or whatever. He's being shot, and that's the moment he discovers that he's got mutant powers. And the Morlocks come along. They're like, right, you can either stay here and a sentinel will capture you, or you can come with us and we'll go on a journey together. I'm only 3 issues in, and it's a 4-issue miniseries, but I'm quite enjoying it. Like, some of the writing from Jeff Johns is a little simplistic. Like there's more there that could be fleshed out, but I can't grumble because I'm not rolling my eyes every other page. It's not patronizing. It's not talking down to me. It's how comics should be, and how they used to be. Yes, and how they used to be, man.
At least in the mainstream, because we, with that caveat that there are quite a few indie comics now that are actually writing like that. They're writing that way and aren't talking down to people at all. But there you go. Morlocks. So they're called Morlocks.
Yeah, Morlocks.
That's not. So they didn't get that from H.G. Wells at all.
I don't know, but I reckon they did.
That's what they were called in the Time Machine. Isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So
whereas Jeff Johns, his original.
Yep, exactly. This actually brings me to a point, because like Sean Martin Brewer's style is, I have a similar style to him. I tend to go more detailed, though. He goes a bit more blobby, right, and more focused on shape rather than the light and shadow stuff. But he still puts a lot of color into his work, or a lot of his work ends up getting colored, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful in black and white. Personally, I know a lot of readers out there, they would prefer to have color in books, but like with Lady Satan, I deliberately said, no, I need to do one book that is just black and white for me, more than anything else. Other ones can be color, but as long as I have one that's in black and white, because I much prefer black and white over color. Mario, I have to ask you, what made you decide to do the Sin Killer in black, white with some grays?
Because I love black and white. Since I saw Conan, and everything related to Conan and all those guys who were in those who drew him. So and the horror comics from the 50s, and everything that is black and white for me is beautiful. I love flat colors, but black and white for me is the best. And Bernie Wrightson, I watched so many art from him. And
Bernie Wrightson, I mean, I wish I had the patience to even try to emulate that man.
Yeah, Frankenstein.
Yes,
Frankenstein is sick. Frankenstein is sick.
I still don't have that book. Yeah, I still don't have that book. I must have that book. And that
7 years it took to do that book.
That 7 years, Jesus Christ. Yeah. That 7. That I believe that's the kind of book that you must have in a collection. A physical.
That's the Bible.
Yeah.
That's the Bible for any comic book creator. Yeah,
just superb stuff. But I have some Bernie Wrightson Swamp Thing. I've got some. That wasn't Bernie Wrightson. That was. I was thinking of somebody else. But I've got some other Bernie Wrightson up there. I just can't see it from here because my eyesight isn't good enough. But also someone I liked as well was the guy on Machine Man. Was that
Machine Man was Kirby's?
No. He was also on Conan. Can't remember his bloody name. He didn't. He was just. There was just a lot of detail to it and a lot of bits and pieces. Maybe somebody in the chat knows who I'm talking about. All right, I tell you what. I'm just going to go and look.
Stinch Whackbacker says monochrome is a lifestyle, and on top of that, our main man, Mr. Peter Palmiotti, he says, I like so many black and white comics. I'll do one day. So we're not alone, Marv. we are not alone in our love of black and white comics.
Yeah, it's
so with a lot of the comics that are published in that are available for you to purchase in Portugal, how many of them would you roughly say are black and white titles compared to color?
Well, when I was a kid, there was a lot of them. There was Zagor, there was Tex. They are Italian comic books,
Okay.
westerns. It's amazing. The Phantom, when I was a kid, a Mandrake. I have a couple of them from the 60s and some of them from the 70s too. But there used to be a lot of comics in black and white, but now just everything is with that Photoshop style, and I don't like it too much. If it's digital, but it mimics the old school style, I like it. But those crazy stuff that Marvel and DC used to do, I don't buy just to look at that. I don't buy.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Barry Windsor Smith. I knew Peter would know it.
Oh, Barry Smith. Yeah.
I knew Peter would know it. Barry Windsor Smith. Love his work as well. Just like I know it's not quite the same as Bernie, but it's got that kind of texture to it, you know, like beautiful line and lots of it. Really well done. Yeah.
Weapon X was a great comic by Barry Windsor Smith. That was awesome.
So what is the comic book scene like in Portugal? Me and Russ, we're only really used to like the UK scene, and I don't know about Russ, but I've seen a bit of the US scene when I've traveled over there and all that. But apart from that, I don't really know what the UK scene is like in Portugal. Is there a comic book scene in Portugal? Is there a strong comic book scene there, or is it more like the odd person like yourself and maybe like a couple of other people that really dig comics, but overall people aren't that interested?
Seriously, I don't know anyone that do comics here in Portugal. I know some artists. Not knowing personally, but I know there are a few of them that are working on Marvel and DC. But when it comes to comic book community, I don't know anybody. No, I don't know anybody.
And you don't have
fans. There are a lot of fans of comics.
Right. Okay.
But I don't know anybody from the comic book industry here in Portugal.
So, do you have comic book shops?
No, I don't.
Where do they just sell them? So, can you just get them online, or is it selling? Where would you buy a comic over there?
You only find Marvel and DC in some newsstands, but if you want the rest, you have to go 70 kilometers and or buy them online.
Okay, so
the comic book shop that is nearest from my house is about 70 kilometers if I want to go to a comic book shop.
So most of the stuff you find is like Panini reprints, is it?
Yeah, I'm not sure now.
Right. Okay.
Because I really don't care about the mainstream comics anymore. So I don't.
Okay. No, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't.
Fair enough. Don't give a shit. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Change the subject.
Yeah.
Well, Mario, listen, it's been absolutely fantastic to have you on, and it's been wonderful.
Thank you for having me.
Looking at the artwork for The Sin Killer, I think it's going to be one hell of a book. I can't wait for it to be finished. I can't wait for you to have a crowdfunding campaign so that I could say, here, take some of my money. I used my best crayons to counterfeit it.
Take my money.
But guys, it's around that time where we've got to wrap up the show. So Mario, before we go, do you want to let people know where they can find you? Yeah, they can find me on Facebook, Twitter, what's the other one? Instagram and YouTube. I have a small. I almost don't do updates on YouTube, but yeah, I'll try to do my best on put some stuff there. But you can find me on the other platforms. Awesome. Awesome. And Russ, do you want to let people know where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube as Comic Book Black Belt, and you can see some of this. I'll just a quick page for you to look at. That's some of the black and white going on the campaign at the moment on production. So there you go.
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
So stop sharing that. So just we have a quick look every week just to see where I am. You can find me on YouTube as Comic Book Black Belt. You can find me at russleach.com. You can find me at comicbookblackbelt.com. You can find out more about my book Only Death Can Save Us at onlydeathcansavus.com. There is a link in the description and a link on the website where you can go straight to the campaign. I am looking to extend now. I've already extended the campaign 30 days, and I'm looking to hit my stretch goals. And there is all kinds of goodies there. Actually, what I am going to show before we shoot off is that I'm going to show the patch from 6 a.m. Comics. I'll show that in a sec. I'll finish off my spiel. Okay, so you can go to the campaign there and back and get the stretch goals. You can find me on the Twitter, on the Fleecebook. You can find me on Instagram, and you can find me on Parlay when it works. Okay, so I'm just going to go show while you finish off, mate.
No worries. And before I do, Peter Palmiotti says, follow the Sin Killer. He'll cleanse your soul. That is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Just look for Lucifer Storm. You'll find me there. Or you can go to luciferstorm.com, sign up to my mailing list. Don't worry, I'm not going to spam you with a bunch of nonsense. It's very rare that you'll get an update, but they do happen. Or you can head on over to lady-satan.com and sign up to the newsletter so that you can learn more about this book and what's going to be happening with it. Because, as I've said before, there is an announcement coming soon. This is the cover to issue 1. And this is a little bit of what the website looks like. So you need to head on over there, especially as there's going to be an announcement coming on October 31st. That's right, Halloween. Guys, we go. We've forgotten something.
Can we say something about October 31st, perhaps?
Oh, what you mean? Our little, is it just us watch along?
Yes.
That we're going to be doing. Yes. Do you want to tell everyone?
Yes. So on October 31st, we will be watching along together a film. Obviously, we can't show you the film because then we would be struck and we wouldn't be able to be on YouTube again. But you can come along and watch the film with us. In fact, if you get in touch with us, we might even be able to aid you in seeing that film. Yeah. I can't say anything more than that because obviously somebody will be chasing us down for distributing film.
Exactly. Watch what you fucking say, Russ.
But we can tell you how to go and find such things, and you can then, so we can tell you what film we're going to watch, and you can go find it. And we're going to be watching. Yes. We decided we're going to be watching Swamp Thing. So we can have a good laugh at that because it's a hysterical film, absolutely hysterical. So we will be watching that, and everybody wants to join us. We can just hang out and watch the film. We've also got an extra program on Thursday night.
Yes, we have. In fact, before we mention the extra program, just want to let everyone know that we actually have guest slots booked up all the way to December. We've had to make room for Thursday night to fit an extra one in because that's how booked we are. So, as you've seen, we've had Mario today. Next week, we're going to have the lead singer of the band, Xander and the Keys, Xander Allen's going to be joining us because he's a huge comic book fan. And then the week after that, we have Jake Lynch from 2000 AD and Judge Dredd, and that will be the first live stream he's ever done. So that's going to be great. But you know what? We have forgotten something even more important than our guests. We haven't asked Mario a very important question.
I think I said the answer back when Jeremy appeared. So I love that 70s porn actor mustache. So
going for the porn tash.
Wonderful. So Jeremy gets your vote.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Mark that on.
Oh, there we go. And there's the mark. Thank you so much for that, Marv.
Look at him.
Awesome.
He's doubled his lead over us. Look at that.
He has that
What a
Fucking
scumbag.
Suck.
Fucking hate
So
suck.
anyway, we need to quickly show off a little something from Russ.
Before, we've got on Thursday, we have Robert Geronimo on. We've had him on before. He's absolutely brilliant. He's the creator of Blood Realm.
Yes.
And we've made an extra slot for him because we love him so much. He's got a new book coming out. Okay, can you remember the name of the book?
Is it Wirehead?
Wirehead, yeah, check it out. Okay, so he'll be on with us on Thursday. We do a quick program with him because we love him so much, so we've opened an extra slot. This fantastic piece of art is by 6am Comics, and you can get this on a fabric embroidered patch as part of the stretch goals for the Only Death Can Save Us campaign. So as we go up, as I get more support, hopefully we will hit that support, and when we get to 9k, this is what I'll be putting in the backer package. So you will have the 6am artworks, exclusive artwork of D himself on the embroidered patch. You'll have a 4-piece postcard set of the 4 horsemen. There'll be an extra poster in there. There'll be all kinds of stuff in there, and it'll all be extra in the package at no extra cost to yourselves. So there you go. I think that's wonderful. I absolutely love that art.
That is fucking awesome.
It's awesome.
Did a great job too. I love that.
Oh yeah, I mean the fan art I've got. This will obviously go up on the fan art page as well on the website. There's some fantastic fan art gone up on there. So go take a look if you have time. Thank you very much.
Awesome stuff. Well, I guess that leaves me with nothing else to say except for until next time, guys. We will see you on Thursday 9 p.m. For Robert Geronimo.
Yeah,
he joins us. But until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Most importantly, stay awesome.